Hey, everybody, this is Devin from Homeschool House Calls, and we are with Lesa Dale today from Life Walk GPS. She has done workshops for us before. We have long history, me and Lisa. We have long history, and she has done many workshops for me in the past. And I realized she has got a retreat coming up, so I wanted to invite her on, talk about the retreat and just go from there. We're always off the top of our head, but y'all, if y'all knew Lisa, you'd love her like I do. She's herself and she's brilliant in what she does, and I wish I could go to the retreat.
We're going to have fun.
I'm a little jealous. In fact, I'm so jealous. If somebody watching today wants to go, it's January 9th. I will sponsor somebody, but you're going to have to tell me why you want to go. It just can't be random. You'll have to work for it. You need to write me an essay or just a just a paragraph why you want to go. But it is January 9th through 13th.
Well,
Am I right? 12th.
well,
I'm giving y'all an extra day. 9th through 12th next week. And I really wish I could go, but I have commitments and couldn't go. But it is going to be good stuff. So tell me about the retreat. Let's tell them a little bit about it.
we are doing it's called Dreaming with God. So it will be vision board, goal setting, perfect for this time of year, right? It's going to
It
be
is
on Dolphin
perfect.
Island. So it's going to be a quiet winter beach setting,
Hmm.
although we
Dolphin
want
Island,
to be on
Alabama. In case you're not in Alabama, just so you know, Dolphin Island is beautiful. Lots of beautiful natural trails and beach, and just it's a wonderful place to
you
be.
have the bird sanctuary, you have
Yeah,
just the old Cadillac Square with the big old trees, you have
it's
the
beautiful.
beach, of course, and there's lots of beach. There's, East End, West End, and the public beach. You can go, we're going to be within walking distance of the bird sanctuary. There'll be a little bitty small beach area for the bayside, but we'll have kayaks available and bikes if anybody wants to just go out and explore the island during their time of dreaming with God. Because we're going to start off on Monday night with a get to know you because it starts Monday evening. We'll do a get to know you, get everybody their gift bags, and then Tuesday morning we're going to talk about sitting and dreaming with God. We're going to talk about doing a daily prayer meeting. If you are in have a business, you can apply it to your business. If it's personal, you apply it to your personal. And we're going to talk about allowing God to give us our vision for the year and our goals, and in that daily meeting, to, giving us this is what you need to do.
Hmm.
Sometimes God gives us whole blueprints at once. Here you go. This is what you're going to do. And here's every step along the way. Sometimes he goes, take this step and I'll give you the next one.
Yeah.
And sometimes he actually says, all right, you have two choices. Choose either one. I'm going to give them both to you, but let's focus on one at a time. So we're going to actually talk and learn how to hear his voice. A friend of mine says that the way you hear his voice is different. Everybody hears different.
Everybody's different.
It could be an actual voice, but it sounds like you because it's in your head. It could be visions, so it could be a sight, a smell, just something that he has responded to you. I know when I first started talking to God and was looking for answers, it was like, okay, I had to get right in the mood and actually make Holy Spirit, not make, but make sure I felt Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So it was all, I do a lot of praising and worshiping. And then I would ask a question and it felt like a hug. I would ask yes and no question. And a yes was a hug and a no was a nothing. That was many years ago, but that's how I first started hearing from God.
Mhm.
But sometimes, sometimes it could be something smart like a year before last, I was getting ready to start. I was at the end of the first year of working through doing the business coaching. And I'm going, why? I've been working at this for a year. I've not really had but a couple of clients. What's going on? And he said, because you're doing what I did not, you're not doing what I told you to do. Get back in your lane and only do the part that I told you to do. Like, so, it was kind of smart aleckly, get back in your lane. And, a few years before that, it was, um, I first started doing this and was doing Discerning Your Calling, the career class for teenagers. And when I first started my very first vision board workshop, I was getting ready to start talking about that. And he was like, I was doing business online as lesadale.com. Everything was about Lesa Dale. That's how everybody says to set up a business. That's if you're going to be coaching or mentoring or whatever, you know, do it this way. And he goes, look, this is not about you. This is about me. I brought this to you 3 times and you didn't pick it up. And now you're making it all about you. It's about me. It's not lesadale.com. Thus, LifeWalk GPS. So God sometimes just gets on to me because I have a tendency to just say, oh, that's what you want me to do? Okay, I got this. But that's not what he wants us to do. He wants us to actually do it the way he wants us to do it. And we
Yeah,
have to
and
stop and
listen.
take time and listen.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And I love what Dr. Tony says about it as far as, she says it's however he talks to you, but he also says, um, what she says, the first voice that you hear in your head, if yours is more audible in your head type thing, the first voice you hear in your head is usually the answer. The second one is usually you. The third one is the enemy coming at you, trying to stop you. So if you hear that voice trying to stop you, you just turn around and say, thank you so much for that verification and confirmation of what God has told me to do. Because you wouldn't be trying to stop me or tell me I wasn't good enough or tell me I can't do this if God hadn't told me to do it in the first place. So I love that. But that's what we're going to spend time with. And then we're going to just cut loose and spend time dreaming with God. If you want to go out and meditate laying in a hammock, it'll be available. If you want to go ride a bike, it'll be available. If you want to hit the water, it'll be available. Go walking, whatever it is, so that you can spend time with God.
So it's really a set time that you can move away from your busy,
Yes, absolutely.
and
Get
that
quiet,
can be hard to do.
listen to God, and then Wednesday evening, we're going to create vision boards. Wednesday afternoon and evening, we're going to create a vision board. And I know a lot of people think that vision boards are too new age, but Habakkuk 2 and 3 actually says to write the vision and put it on tablet so that the runner can see it.
Hmm.
And if you have a vision board, it's just big picture.
Yeah.
It's not the goals. When you go to setting goals, that is creating the steps to put everything in place. But the vision board is your big picture. This is what God has told us we're aiming for this year. This is what we do. I like to do a word of the year and usually a verse. And my second vision board was blank. I was doing that workshop and I was spending time doing things. So I figured mine was just blank because I hadn't had enough time to do it while everybody else was doing theirs. But it turns out it was supposed to be blank because my word for that year was faith. And God was building that muscle. He was building that faith muscle. So the word and the verse was all that was on mine. Some few little stickers, that were crosses or stuff,
Mhm.
but nothing else was there. My first vision board had me talking on a stage. It had an Alaskan cruise. It had a house. It had all this stuff on it. And this one had nothing. And a friend of mine, she told me, she goes, maybe what you need to do is add it to it once he talks to you. Once he brings it to happen, put it on there.
Mhm.
So I had a blank board that year. But this year, my word for the year is increase. But my verse for the year is John 3:30, which says, "For him to increase, I must first decrease."
I love that.
Or actually, it says the opposite. I must first decrease for him to increase. So that is that's the verse to go with my words. So I have to
I love
decrease
that.
this year to increase him. One thing I have this year or last year, one thing that I realized, I'm not a coach. A coach is supposed to help a client work through things. Hi, Alicia. Supposed to work through things and build themselves, get themselves out of, answer their own questions, and come to a point. I tell people more about things. God has shown me that my my special gifting is a little bit of discernment, where I can help discern careers and businesses for people.
That's
I
good.
didn't realize that until recently, because I tell you I had no gift of discernment, because I can't tell when somebody's going to be somebody that's lying, going to be a liar or steal from me, because I've had all of that. But it is this special manifestation of the discernment gift that I get. So it's just one of those little things. And some people, I know them well, and I'm able to just do it right away. My last client, we are actually in the middle of her final session of the two of us talking through all of her assessments and her spiritual gifts, her personality, and how they all work together and all this stuff. And I still really don't have a good feel. I know that all of this is for what she's doing, and all works for that, but I didn't really have a good feel of what she's supposed to do. And I just
Mhm.
happened to ask, because she had told me at one point she had a speaking engagement. I asked her what her speaking engagement was. I had assumed it had to do with the importance of writing or social media, or she had started several businesses. But she also has a ministry, and her speaking engagement was about raising funds for her ministry. It was teaching other people in ministry how to raise funds for their ministry, and that just fell. It's like, that's it. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's where your focus should be. And that's your big program. That's going to be what people's going to know you for.
That's good.
So that's just it just happens sometimes. That's the way it happens. It's a manifestation. Holy Spirit says, there you go, that's it. That's what we're going to we want to get close enough to God that we know when he's talking
Mhm.
to us, and we
Yeah,
know when it's him telling us what it is we should do.
that's good.
And then we can take that and set it into goals, right?
Yeah.
Still with him.
So are you gonna go over like taking the vision board into goals, or are you gonna do the goals first?
We're going to talk about goals a little bit. Not a lot, because I don't want to do a whole goal setting, because I have in the past, and if you said you've run my goal setting
Yeah.
workshop last month. And so in the past, I have stated that I have problems with like the BHAGs, the big hairy goals, the big
Mhm.
audacious hairy goals is what it is. Because it tells you to shoot for the stars. And if you land in a tree, then you've gotten off the ground. Yes, it does. But for me, it meant I didn't hit my goal.
Yeah.
It was an issue. But at the same time, faith says we have to have that faith to step out in something that we know we can't do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
sometimes that big goal is what God wants you to do. If it scares you a little bit, it's probably from Him, because I know it says we can do. A lot of people say do this whole thing that we can do all things. You know, we can do everything we need to, but they forget it's with God. We can do all things with God. We can't do them on our own.
Yeah.
So sometimes that little bit of I'm scared, I can't do this, and that's what God says. But you have to see that and say, okay, God, here we go. I can't do this, but I know you can, so let's go. So
Yeah.
that's sometimes that BHAG is what we do. Sometimes it's that smart goal,
Yeah.
but always our goals should be, you know, spending time with God, praising God, um, going through what He has told us to do in the past to make sure that we have it. We should set these goals that are more than smart. That one of the reasons I like the life stones is because there's no time restriction on that. Um, you have to have a time when you're going to get started.
Yeah.
When I first got started with discerning my calling, I had to, I didn't know how long it was going to take. It took a whole year to figure out what all I was doing, get all the training I needed, figure out which programs I was going to use, because, a lot of people like to do the Enneagram and the Strength Finder, and I don't use those. But there has to be a point where you go, okay, this is enough. That can be extra, but we don't need, we just overwhelm ourselves if we do all the things.
Mhm.
When I first started bringing it into business, a friend of mine, she goes, I got all these reports. This one tells me I do this, and this one tells me I do that, and this one tells me this, but how do I put that together? And that's where my strength comes in. I can put
Mhm.
that all together and say, this is kind of where you need to go. I I've had to grow into that some. So some of the people that went through some of the things to start with didn't get all that. They got a good general, this is a direction for you. This is
Yeah.
how God created you and put you together. I have gotten to the point now where I can do more pinpointing. Not everybody needs to be pinpointed.
Yeah.
The business type, the business resources are a little better because so many people are already in business, but they're looking for that one thing they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But the kids who are looking for a career, they don't know enough about themselves
Yeah.
or even about, how most of them don't know how to get in touch with God enough to get that small little thing. They need a direction.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of kids need to be taught that, your life goals morph and change as life changes, and that it's okay that it's okay. It's okay. Even as mamas, our life goals change, things change,
Mhm.
our direction changes.
Our days change.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, as a homeschool mom, we can be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, we can have, not everybody does, I know, but we can have that set schedule. This is how we're supposed to do things. This is how we're going to do things. But you have a day where this one's sick and this one has to work on their own
Mm-hmm.
because you have to do this, or something happens, life happens.
Life
And
happens, and it's okay when those schedules have to be thrown out the window. You've not failed because things changed. I'm like, um, for me, I mean, I took a big girl job this last month, and one of the things I fought those first couple of weeks is I felt like I had failed with homeschooling because I changed plans, but I haven't. And then I'm like, and here I am. I tell mamas all the time, "You're doing a great job," but I had to look in the mirror and go, "You're doing a great job when things have not. You haven't failed because you picked up this job. Your kids are still homeschooling. It's just the way it looks has changed,
mm-hmm,
and that's okay."
yep.
So
And things have changed so much since we started homeschooling, right?
yeah.
The things
Homeschooling in
that,
itself has changed so much. I mean, what
yeah,
we've known each other, what, 15 years
no
longer?
longer.
Let's see,
Well, we
Cole.
had 2 kids when we met.
We had, yeah. Well, Cole and Kenny were kindergarten when we met.
No, we actually
Or
met
were they
a little
before
bit
that?
before that. It's just the first time we really sat down and talked and put things together. They were kindergarten.
They were kindergarten.
That
We
was
knew
when
each
we
other
were
before
doing
that
the
too.
SATs.
So that, I mean, 20. We're hitting
But
20 years,
yeah,
and our homeschooling
but
through all of it has changed and morphed, and life has changed, and
and see, I'm not even homeschooling anymore. I'm out of it
you're
now.
out of it. I'm not. I still have many, many
Uh-huh.
years to go.
I'm about 4 years out now.
Yeah, I've got Lisi's second grade, so I've got about 10 years to go.
And see, that's the funny is your oldest and my youngest is
Yeah,
where we met.
that's where we met. But I'm like, it's okay when life changes.
Hmm.
That's that's just the nature of life.
It is.
We're not
You know,
stuck.
so many people look at, okay, so I've spent all these years dedicating myself to my kids. Now what?
Mhm.
Well, God has a plan for now what.
Yeah,
God knows now what. If you need help finding it, I can help with that.
yeah. You're brilliant with that.
If God already has shown you, you've got this, and you're talking about it's a big girl job. You had a big girl job.
I did. I do. I'm like, that's just what
That's
my
different.
I laugh and tell my kids. I have had a big girl job for many, many years
Yeah,
in the homeschool community. And this is
and you
just
still have
really,
that.
it's an extension of what I've already been doing.
Yes, because you're representing the homeschoolers
Yeah.
over at that school.
Yeah.
You are their person, right?
Yes. I am doing my technical name is Student Support Services Coordinator, but I am really probably the homeschool mama on campus now,
Yep.
or will be when they realize it. But very, very homeschool friendly school
Yes.
university in our area, and I'm enjoying it. I'm learning stuff that benefits our homeschool mamas. Things I knew but didn't quite know. So I'm learning.
Hmm. So
I like
it's
learning.
just an extension of what you've
Extension
been
of
doing
what I've
for
already
years.
been. Yeah. And
Hmm.
they know everything I do in the homeschool community, and they are okay with it. They don't mind. So what there wasn't any on their end, there was no worry that it would clash or anything like that. So it's great. And there's some stuff coming down in the years to come that will probably morph and change there too. So I've got some good things going there. But anyway, so to go back to where we are, we're Lisa's retreat is coming up. It's next Monday, starts next Monday. So if you want to go, I'm going to put a link in the description box, so you can go to Lisa's not website, but go to her Facebook page that will tell you everything about it, tell you the cost, where it is, how you're going to get there, and all that kind of thing. If
I
you're interested in,
completely did not do a landing page for this on purpose. You have to contact me
for
on
information,
Facebook for the link for the payment and for the link to find
so
out,
you will get the
fill
personal
out the form.
touch.
Yes,
You'll get the personal touch. Yeah.
it's all done through Facebook Messenger or text or however you want to contact me. But
So
it's all done.
if you don't use Messenger and you don't use Facebook, contact me. I will give you Lisa's contact. We won't post that out
Well,
there.
I was about to say it's already posted on my website, so who
Oh
cares?
well, never mind. I'll just give it to you.
We
Me, I
can put
try
that in
really hard.
there.
I try really hard to protect people's privacy. I don't know. I don't know that I like having people just cold text me. Although I do get that a
Well,
lot. But
at the same time, because I also ran the homeschool cover back when Alabama
yeah,
required a cover, my phone number has been the same for over 20 years.
so
So my
everybody
phone
still call
number
you.
was the one that was posted everywhere online for the school. So any place that
Yeah,
had contact information for homeschool covers,
it's
whether it was in
probably you.
For Alabama, whether it was a national website or an Alabama website or just our website, it all had my phone number on it for a long time.
Hmm.
So we finally got a school phone, and but now the administrator now uses her personal phone. We've
Yeah,
gone
that's how
back
it
to
is
that.
with mine, with our cover. And our church just changed their number to be the way it works is you can actually text the number now. So I've actually got to go in and change their number because I have their number and my number. So yeah, I mean, because I've had my number for years.
Hmm. So my
Mhm.
number's been online for years.
She
It's been
doesn't
out.
mind if you text her. If you Google Lisa Dale, it'll probably come up and you can find her contact.
Well, we can put, the text message. We can put a link to my Facebook in the comments because
Okay.
it is a private group, right?
Yeah. Well, one is, one isn't. I have two groups. I'll put this one on YouTube and then send it out. So
Well,
that's
the
what
phone
I'm
number
doing.
will be in the groups.
Yeah, it'll be in the group.
YouTube, if you're on YouTube, you got to look me up.
You gotta look her up. You
And
can
it's
go
a
to her
little bit
website and
late
you'll find it.
already if you're on YouTube finding it,
Yeah.
because you'll probably find it after. So we need to stress this is a 2023 January
2023, great
retreat.
information, 2023 retreat. She will have more, and if you contact her, she'll tell you when the next one is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Lisa, for coming in, telling us about the retreat, and just
Thank
coming
you
and
for
hanging
letting me.
with me. I love when we hang out. We don't see each other. We actually, in real life, we meet
Yes.
occasionally when we can work out our schedule.
Are. We're just around the corner from each other, kind of, but at the same time,
Very
we
different,
have
different schedules. Very different schedules. Yes. I love you and I'm thankful for you today.
me as well.
Yeah.
I very much so enjoy talking to you and getting together and
And
doing these things.
I know I do. And we need it. So, mamas, go back through. You can go back through if you're in the group, search the group for Lisa's name. You will have all of her stuff pop up. She's got great information, great workshops we've done in the past. Most of them are on on the YouTube channel too. You can, go in there. If you can't find anything, let me know. I can shoot you links. Um, Go to her website. She has tons of courses that are just they're great. Tons of
Honestly, the
stuff.
website needs a lot of updating.
But
So
the
there are
information
lots
is
of
good information.
courses are there, except for my business course, which is irrevocable. Right now, there is actually a link to the business course that I told you I did for a year without very
Uh-huh.
little. There's a link to that called Business GPS, and we're not doing that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My the one part that I'm doing is irrevocable. It's based on Romans 11:29 that says the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable.
I love that.
And for those of you who want to pronounce things correctly, I do realize it's irrevocable, but I cannot pronounce it easily. So
We're from South Alabama.
I can say it, but it takes a little bit because as a child, I had speech problems with R's. So
Mhm.
irrevocable works, and that's how I usually say it,
It
even
works
though
for
it's
me.
not proper, not correct.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can find her. I'll put all the links in here so you can find them. And she's awesome. Got good stuff. But y'all have a good first of the year. We are going to really work on revamping the YouTube channel and having more consistent stuff. So we will see y'all soon. Bye guys.